We have a vision here at Edgewood to be a distinctly Dominican college of choice, a place where students are transformed within a highly engaged, integrated learning community. From the Dominican studium of study, reflection, action, to our college core values of community, truth, justice, partnership, and compassion, Edgewood is a place that educates students for meaningful lives of ethical leadership, service, and a lifelong search for truth. As the foundation of your liberal arts education, you will have 3 opportunities throughout your time here at Edgewood to participate in the core curriculum, the heart of the general education experience.
Not many institutions make an intentional effort to introduce students who come to their college to what the college is all about and its heritage, its way of thinking about education and the world. COR does that explicitly.
When St. Dominic first encountered the poverty and the destitution and the ignorance in the south of France, he was moved with such compassion. He said, something has to be done. So Dominic's first realization was, before we can go and help people, we need to understand the world that they're living in.
The 5 values are everywhere. It comes up over and over again, and it comes to a point where it's just there, and you realize that you're attached to it and that you're actually following these values because they're incorporated in each classroom, and these values are really there to benefit you in the long run. You learn something new every part of your life, and these are something that will make me reflect and pursue different dreams and learn more about myself.
Well, the mission of Edgewood, actually it's 2 statements, and the first being that we engage students in a community of learners that are committed to creating a just and compassionate world. You start doing that by just looking right here around Edgewood. What are the issues that we have here? And how can we begin to take the resources that we have in our learning environment and address those issues? That leads to the second part of our mission statement, which is hopefully to provide a process for our students that they can take into the rest of their lives in the search for truth, which is a lifelong search, it's a lifelong journey.
The Edgewood College General Education Program is designed to provide students with academic experiences in 4 focus areas.
We looked at the mission statement and we saw it as just a perfect springboard for the things that we knew that we were going to be doing. And we realized that there were really 4 basic things that we did. And that is that, first of all, we gave students skills, things that they can use in their occupations or just in their life in general. So we called those the cornerstones. But then we thought, well, you know, there's this question of how it is that we relate to one another in community, especially in a globalized world with a multicultural nation like our own. And so we thought, well, really that's a matter of, again, of perspective, where you are as a person from your community and individual perspective. So why don't we call that perspectives on the world? And then finally, this idea of ways of knowing, which is there are so many different kinds of knowledge that we have of the world about different kinds of things. So a scientist looks at things really differently, for example, than a philosopher, perhaps. And so we thought that was another kind of thing that students should be able to do, is understand those different channels of information, so we called them ways of knowing. One of the most important elements of this was to unify those other components around a kind of central way of viewing the college mission, which is through what we call the Edgewood COR. COR is C-O-R-E, it's the center of everything, but it's also COR, C-O-R, which is part of our Latin motto here at Edgewood, Cor et cor loquitur, which means heart speaks to heart.
What we want the COR to be is the heart of an Edgewood education. If this is the heart of the education, what is it that students come to us often seeking? And often when you peel back the layers, students are often trying to get a sense of who they are, to better understand the world around them.
COR is a unique program spanning students' entire time at Edgewood College. It is designed to provide an integrated learning experience where students can examine and apply their own values, beliefs, and identities to their learning about the world around them. At each level of COR, students explore 3 key questions.
Who am I and who can I become?
What are the needs and opportunities of the world?
What is my role in building a just and compassionate world?
People ask and think about those questions in different ways. And if institutions of higher education are anything, they ought to be places where students can come and grapple with those questions.
And so CORE not only helps the student in terms of self-exploration, in terms of understanding the mission and vision of the college, but also in terms of integrating. It unifies what the student is doing, and it centers on the person.
CORE is a 3-tiered program that begins in your freshman year with your choice of a CORE 1 seminar. As a sophomore or junior, you will choose a CORE 2 pathway. Finally, as a senior, you will participate in a CORE 3 seminar or a capstone project. At the CORE 1 level, your focus will be on exploration, as you critically reflect on your personal identity, beliefs, and worldviews. You will choose a CORE 1 themed course that will support your transition into college, help you connect to your surrounding community, and investigate issues from multiple perspectives.
Choose a topic that you're interested in. Choose something that you already care about. And you may not know a whole lot about it. That's why CORE 1 is designed at the stage of exploration.
One of the very first community engagement things that we did was during our unit on electronic waste.
We started with a video. It showed us the situation in other countries.
And then we went out into the community to a company on the far northeast side of Madison.
And what they do is they take electronics that aren't being used anymore, and some of them they refurbish to be sold again, and what can't be used they scrap down and organize it into the base material, and then they recycle that.
It was something I think the students really enjoyed, and it really raised their awareness, and so each person was able to walk away with a little plan of what they can do when they're done with their own products.
At the CORE 2 level, your focus will be on experience as you proceed down a pathway to engagement by completing either a community-based learning course, community-based undergraduate research, field experience, study abroad, or civic leadership opportunities. In your CORE 2 pathway, you will develop relationships with your community in order to discover the ways in which your interests and talents intersect with the needs and opportunities of the world around you.
I got involved with the Bridging Borders class here at Edgewood when we studied immigration between the United States and Mexico.
We went out and we did a series of interviews with Latinos in Madison. Along with those interviews, we also produced a film. For the students, I think that was the most meaningful part. What they learned and what stuck with them, I think, was the personal one-to-one interviews and the discussions they had with people. And then we showed the film. For the students, that was a proud moment. They got to show their film in Anderson Auditorium. And we showed the film again when we went to Mexico to a group of Mexican students at the University of Veracruz, and then have a conversation with those people in Mexico, many of whom had experienced immigration directly.
Being able to talk to the actual people down there, people that have come to the United States and gone back, and it was just an amazing experience to be able to do that because it's something I've always been passionate about, but I've never really had an opportunity to do.
At the CORE 3 level, your focus will be on expertise and example. CORE 3 pulls together your Edgewood experience and connects general education with in-depth study related to your major. In CORE 3, you have the chance to become an informed and engaged citizen by developing creative theories and solutions to current issues in your field of study.
My project was called The Dark Side of Pink. It was a 15-piece photographic series on women's issues and women's art history to discover what products created psychological effects in women. The next part of it was I wanted to have women see how media was advertising to them and the effects that this could cost them. I have created many, many photographic series in my life, but none of them have I spent 3.5 months researching what I wanted to say visually. And I feel that that research impacted the art and made it more powerful. That, to me, is creating a more just and compassionate world. It's by letting people know individually that there are problems out there, and that if we just sit back, they're not going to be solved.
A liberal arts education at Edgewood College is all about our mission and prepares you to make a real difference in the world by connecting, learning, beliefs, and actions.
Our hope for all of our students is not that we necessarily ever answer those definitively, but that we are constantly engaged in the process of exploring those questions, forming provisional responses, both through reflection, through learning, through experience.
I think coming to Edgewood, since it's such a small community, here you can actually be and do what you'd like to do and express that any way you'd like.
COR is our promise as an institution to students that they will have something when they come out of here that I think any thinking person, feeling person wants to have, and that is by reaching out to the community, then you yourself are transformed. The idea is change lives, including your own.